I'm in love with you. I've been in love with you for 2 years. I've been in love with you for 5 years.
What was the result? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a new type of content from Temper Tantrums. It's not the Throwing Tantrums podcast. Make sure you check that new episode coming out on Monday. If you guys are watching this, actually, this is in the future. It's already been out. Make sure you listen to our podcast. Today is a new type of content because I've seen some interesting results with it on my own channel, and I kind of want to bring it onto here. Aside from just the dance videos, we're going to do something a little bit different today. So today we're going to be reacting to dating tips and relationship advice from the amazing TikTok, a reliable place of building relationships and dance videos and tutorial, all the good stuff. So today we're joined by Amanda, Safira. They are holding it down for the women, their perspective, and I am going to be sharing the misogynistic point of view. I'm just kidding. Somebody's got to do it. I'll take one for the team. And just to let you guys know, if you guys are watching this, or you guys are watching this on YouTube, we will occasionally be drinking a little bit because we're going to be watching. We might occasionally be reacting to some stupidity. So
we need to be prepared.
Yeah. So all right. So Amanda is the DJ. So let's take it away.
Right. Here we go.
Okay.
Things people often mistake for love. 1, constantly obsessing over somebody and feeling incomplete when they're not around. 2, constantly sacrificing your needs for someone else. 3, that happy feeling you get when your unhealthy wounds and coping mechanisms are enabled by somebody. And 4, constantly trying to change your partner instead of loving them patiently as an imperfect person who's in their process. Let me know in the comments if you want a part 2 on what healthy love is.
Let's get it.
All right. Pause that. You guys want to share? You got thoughts on that? No?
Oh, I'm pausing. Do you have thoughts?
I'm good. That's pretty on point. I've been in relationships, past relationships, where they stuck around in hopes to trying to change me.
Lol.
Didn't really work out. And yeah, here I am in a different relationship. So
You are. In a better one. The best one.
Okay.
Of course.
All right.
Yeah, my thoughts are she's very pretty and I like everything she says. Play.
Things not to say to your wife after she gives birth to your little baby. Why are you still wearing your maternity clothes?
Oh no.
She doesn't cry like that when I do it.
Wow.
So are we still eating whatever we want, or?
If my boyfriend doesn't text me all day long, that's fine. Honestly, we both live complex lives that make communicating difficult. But all I ask...
Pause. Are you guys hearing an echo?
Yeah, I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. Mm-hmm. Is that me?
Okay, also, that guy's a douchebag. The fact that even needed to be explained to him.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
anytime a man has an opinion on a woman's weight, he should not share it. It should just swallow that. Just swallow it. Like she's swallowing her hamburger, you swallow your thoughts about her eating a hamburger.
I'm not going to argue with that, because me being through that whole process of pregnancy with my son, it's like, yeah, the hormones are sensitive, so you got to be the ultimate source of support. And I admit I wasn't always, but me being human and tired and all that other shit. But you got to do your best to be that rock, because fuck, man, women go through some crazy changes when they're pregnant, and then I can only imagine the amount of insecurity and comparison traps that they get into because they don't look the way they were before. So that love that men or their partner in general need to give is going to be the most important thing that they hear. Because if they're hearing like, oh, you're not how you were before, you weren't as exciting as you were before, or you're still eating that, like what that guy said, it's like daggers.
He would be dead where he's standing.
It'd be
My pregnant belly would be smacking him in the face.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it rolling. All right, let's do it.
Here we go. Play.
is that you send little updates that I know you're thinking of me and that you're safe. And if you don't see the value in that, I don't want it.
What?
I don't get it.
Listen up. If you want to know what your relationship is made of and you don't want to become another divorce statistic, ask yourself, if all the other person could give you was their time, would you still give them yours?
That's a fair question. But
You say to a man, I feel so safe whenever I'm around you. Just saying that to a guy makes him feel like Superman. But more specifically, it makes him feel like Superman with you. Not everyone makes him feel that way. So if he feels that powerful with you, he's going to be drawn to you. The second way to compliment a guy is to talk about his hidden traits. Let's say a guy is good at the guitar. He's probably been complimented on that an awful lot. So when he goes and plays, everyone comes up to him and says, oh my God, you're so good, you're amazing at that. It loses its meaning after a while. So now when you compliment the guy on that thing, you're just like everybody else. But if you can compliment the trait that made him good at the guitar in the first place, he will be much more sentimental about that. So if it's just the discipline to keep playing every single day, even when it was hard to get to that point, that's something he's more likely to have meaning for than just being good at the guitar.
All right, pause.
Does everyone just...
Yeah.
Yeah, what are your
good
thoughts,
point.
guys?
Sapphira,
what are your thoughts? I want to know.
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely like, yeah, seeing men in, okay, the guitar, like men in music who think that they're amazing.
Damn, man, who think that they're amazing?
I've been around a lot of musicians. I mean, just not even like dating, just being around them. Like they just sort of think that they're like the shit, so I actually feel like, I don't know, when you don't compliment them, they take you more seriously. But people who are really, I would say that's just for the people who are just really successful. Like people who are really successful, like when you don't give them what everyone else is giving them, then they listen to you.
Good facts.
I agree in the sense of like, because I'm putting it in the context of the 5 love languages. Because for me, when my girlfriend says things or acknowledges me for things, it's like the warm fuzzies, like not especially like the whole great dancer thing is great, but when she says like, oh, you're a great dad, you're a great friend, you're such a hard worker, those things are nice, because especially I don't know if it's for me or if it's the same for other guys don't always get like acknowledgement, or especially like, because most of the time maybe it's for me, my upbringing is like, you could be better kind of thing. So that could be that. And also putting into the filter of 5 love languages, the guys might like it if they like that. It might just mean the world to them. For me, like my love language is acts of service. So if you do something to help me out, that carries a lot more weight. So I guess it depends on the person's love language. Because for me, it's like, a big part was in how my current girlfriend reacted to when I was first really upset, and how she was very more empathetic instead of scared. So like that mattered huge to me, because like most of the time when I was upset, people get quiet or they try to distance themselves. But with her, she was much more tender, so to speak. So that spoke volumes, and like again gave me the warm fuzzies. And I was like, yeah. She kind of like it for me, because a lot of I've had anger issues growing up, so it was like when it was very much, I can relate to the whole Beauty and the Beast. When you're angry, like people like treat you, demonize you, but when people like a belle, so to speak, comes into your life and kind of sees you for who you are and holds you to that, and not what your current state of mind, it matters. So
Love that. You do want to be careful about comparing yourself to Beauty and the Beast, because he did like totally kidnap her, and then she had to fall in love with him in order to survive. But
so that's a little twisted, weird love.
That's a great way.
But
that's one way.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird psychology in our fairy tales.
I always feel like the advice like this, I feel like, well, first of all, it's very like heteronormative, but if we're just gonna like accept that as the reality, if we're gonna assume we're all straight, then like, doesn't it feel a little manipulative?
Like,
It feels like when he gives me advice, because I like watching him because I like his accent. I've seen.
That's the only reason. Wow.
Yes. And I don't know. I feel like I'm like, should I not be hearing this? It feels like I'm listening into a conversation that's private or something. So that it feels like if I hear this kind of thing, I'm going to be manipulating the person that I'm dating as opposed to reacting normally to them. But that's just something.
You're talking about getting dating advice?
Like, it feels like when he's talking about men, because I don't have a lot of close male friends, I'm like, I feel like I'm eavesdropping.
I feel like what he's sharing is tactics.
But isn't that mean?
Like that's where it can be manipulative. It depends on the intent. Like
the intent. Yeah. Also can just help you with learning how to deal with the opposite sex or your partner.
Yeah, because I mean his advice isn't for everyone, but I almost feel like things like that are more like based off strategic or even principles are much more powerful than tactics, because tactics eventually get worn out. Like when I was younger in the college scene and I was learning how to pick up chicks.
Gross.
So no, this, like, as much as I hate, like, as there's a lot of hate on it, like, it helped me build my confidence. But there is a very slippery slope in going to the dark side, which many men do, where they manipulate women, because these are people that don't know how to socialize. And for me, my history of it was a lot of my friends were dating, that's the only way you meet girls is people in your circle. I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to learn how to confidently approach a woman I didn't know and just, like, have a conversation with them. And
that's what it is. I feel like I don't like when men treat me like my gender, because they're usually wrong. They're assuming what they should do to me because of my gender or how they should respond to me. So then it makes me feel like, because the men that have, like, treated me, quote, like a girl, I feel like I'm always, like, very annoyed with them. I'm like, why don't you just get to know me as a person?
Wow, I'm like, I couldn't be more opposite. Yeah.
You love being treated like a girl?
Yeah, like, to me, like, when I can do a lot of masculine things or whatever in my life, but, like, if I'm dating you, like, you better open the door for me. Like, you can carry my bag too. I don't know.
They can carry my groceries.
Yeah.
This is the things men can do. This is when I believe in gender. If the spider is big enough, and big enough is only how I define if it's big enough or not. Sometimes that's quite small. Then the guy can kill it. It's his responsibility. If I have more than 2 grocery bags, then he can help me with my groceries. That's when gender is real.
This is fucking great.
Those are the only 2 times. The rest of the time, made up.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. I'm glad that we decided to go with this video, because we're learning a lot about each other.
Beautiful. Shall I press play?
Yeah, let's press play.
Just want the next best thing. He gets ghosted all the time or is doing the ghosting,
Yes, it's easier to reject people because we don't necessarily have to do it in person. But even then, like, people talk about ghosting, like, oh, why is ghosting such a thing these days? When was ghosting not a thing?
That's true.
When was, like, we literally can watch movies from the 50s where the woman sees the guy and she, like, sees him in the street and she's like, why didn't you call?
Right.
That's ghosting.
I guess we just couldn't watch them on social media also living out their best life, on top of the fact they're getting ghosted, so it hurts more.
You could pretend to yourself they died.
I hope they died.
And are literally ghosting. That's where it started. You hoped that they died. You called them a ghost.
Right. They were a literal ghost.
I love ghosting people. I'm not even going to lie. Not even gonna lie.
I don't like ghosting. I feel so bad.
It's the most common form of paranormal activity, is ghosting.
I'm great at it. I'm super normal, super paranormal.
True story, I ghosted my current girlfriend for 10 years before we got together.
What? Really? You knew her for 10 years ago and dated her?
Yeah, we were talking for a bit back in 2006, 2008. I was young and stupid. So she admitted, I love you. And I was like, I want to be single and kind of fool around. So, but I never really, like, said it. I just disappeared.
Oh, preach.
So, yeah, that was rough. We have an entire podcast episode about that in our own podcast. I ghosted her for a while, and how I just when I reconnected, I kind of like came like how Miley Cyrus would say, came in like a wrecking ball, trying to like, hey, I'm back. And she was like, this motherfucker thinks he could just come back in my life.
Wait, so question, what made you feel so uncomfortable that you had to completely leave after she said that?
I think part of it was commitment issues. Another part of it was I was fucking 21 and just like hormones were just raging. I was learning how to finally talk to girls and go on dates and like not that weren't in my social circle. So if I felt like I had to kind of let that out. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
you ever ghosted anyone, Safira?
Yeah. I really don't like doing it. Like I've tried to say things like I told a guy once I was moving back to San Francisco and then I saw him again, which just was terrible. I don't like doing it, but yeah, I'll definitely do it.
I for sure ghost people. I'd like to be like, oh, it's just because I'm just such a good person and I hate rejecting people, but it's really just because I'm really not very nice.
You just you just do it. You just get You just get bored of them.
Sometimes I ghost people. I ghost men in particular sometimes because I'm a little bit afraid of them. Like I'm like, oh, if I say no to him, he's gonna get really mean right now, and so I'll just kind of disappear.
Yeah, there are dudes that don't know how to take a no with grace.
It gets ugly.
Mistake the binge and crash cycles of serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, all of these brain chemicals that fire off in your brain in the first 6 months of a relationship or the honeymoon phase. It's the same as when you're taking drugs, what it releases. And you're mistaking that for falling in and out of love. But that's not what that is. And if you're looking for your relationship to keep your brain on a constant high, you're not looking for love. You're looking for addiction.
God, the camera work is so jarring.
That was intense.
Nervous.
What is his name? Levi. I thought it said love.
I don't have much to say. It's a honeymoon phase, so yeah.
Yeah, make it through the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, and then see what happens.
Let's have a conversation y'all aren't ready to hear yet. There is a huge difference between saying I love you and I like you. A lot of people in relationships like to rush to say I love you and then get mad when their partner doesn't want to say it back yet. But what they're not realizing is me saying I like you can be way more flattering than me saying I love you. Because I can love you and not like you. You know how many family members you have that you love but you don't like? Just because I love you doesn't mean I like to spend time with you. But if I say I like you, that means I actually like you and like spending time with you.
Fair.
So if anything, you should be more flattered that I'm actually telling you that I like you instead of just rushing to say I love you and not meaning it. Being able to say I love you to your partner takes time. We have to have gone through some things so that I know we have resilience in our relationship to last.
True.
So me saying I like you means we are on a good track to seeing if I actually love you. So with that being said, please stop being so pressed about saying I love you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
I like him.
I like him too.
Yeah, I brought some good points.
That's interesting. I've heard that before from guys. They feel much more comfortable and real with the girl if they can say I like you. Like I've definitely heard guys say that before.
Oh.
It takes a long time to get to I love you.
Yeah, it's low pressure.
I've made it a rule. Well, not a rule. I almost felt like guys saying I love you would put pressure on the girl, or I don't know.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, like like for the past few relationships I did, like I never said I love you first, because for me I think it was the fear of like pushing them away. Like, whoa, that's such a heavy thing in a sense. But yeah, I mean, with Maxine, my thought of with her when I decided to, I guess, pursue her hard, it was the one I thought was like the one that got away. So I decided to like go for it, and like I didn't hesitate to even say the I love you that she never got back in the day. So yeah, it was definitely a whirlwind of like, what's going on? What are we like? Yeah, but it was definitely interesting. Yeah.
So you said it like right in the beginning of the second round.
This not even in the not right away. More like after a few reestablishing connection. This is like after like 10 years after like we haven't talked. So like, were we getting to know each other again? Because obviously 10 years we're different people, and to see the attraction, and then all this other stuff, like, and then we hung out a lot when I visited. Well, and then like probably the third to the last day or second to the last day, that's where I was like, I didn't exactly say it, but she was like, "Why? Like, it's not like you love me or anything." And I was like, well, and then she was like, "Oh, we both take a drink at the same time."
That's cute. I love that.
It was like, it was definitely something I would love to re-experience again. It was fun. It was fun. It's still fun, but the discovery of it is just like, like a K-drama or something, or a rom-com.
I love that. That's beautiful. But no hate on people who do feel like they have to say it. Some people are very, very emotionally driven.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like they're gonna burst if they don't say it. You have to be nice to them.
I mean, I say it to the service workers at Starbucks just to creep them out.
Oh, don't do that. That's interesting. No, don't do that.
I've done that so many times. Like, okay, that's a caramel frappuccino. Is there anything else? I love you. Excuse me? Nothing.
Really?
I've done that.
Oh, totally they don't know you, bro.
Yeah, then my friend.
They don't know you.
You know, I have to tell you the story. I dated a guy once who told me that when he was 12, he used to go around middle school. Him and his brother figured out that if you tell girls you love them, that they're going to be all over you. So he and his brother one day went around school all day long telling girls, I love you. I love you. I'm in love with you. I've been in love with you for 2 years. I've been in love with you for 5 years.
What was the results?
And he said that's when he learned not to say that, because everybody believed him. Like, everybody believed what he was saying.
Oh my God.
And they all really thought that he was in love with them, and so they all like wanted to be his girlfriend.
Wow. See, that's where a tactic can become evil.
I would beat his ass. Well, third grade me would have beat his ass.
Damn.
Yeah, you lied to me?
Who's that bitch?
No, I hit on the boys.
Okay.
From the jump.
How to be a player.
No. Oh God. Yeah. Let's keep playing.
All right, here's a weird psychological trick to help you get over that breakup. I get it. The flowers are dead, all the chocolates have been eaten, and it's time to get over that heartache from Valentine's Day. Well, so our brains are really unique because we only remember things that are associated with high emotion. Now, it could be good emotion, it could be negative emotion, doesn't really matter. It just will remember if we've had a lot of emotion associated with something. So relationships obviously generally have both. You know, you have good experiences that are high emotion, and then you have maybe negative experiences that are high emotion as well. So your brain tends to remember all these things. And getting over that can be very difficult. Now, here is a trick that you can use to help you get over that person very quickly. And that is to do something in a creative manner that's going to give you something that you want. So maybe you play music, maybe you write poetry, maybe you work good, maybe you're a day trader. Doesn't matter what you do, just get into work and focus on something that you want while you're working. Good luck.
Interesting. Boomer thoughts. Okay, Boomer.
Yeah.
But,
do you guys have any thoughts on the Boomer's thoughts?
I agree that there should be something creative, because I think it's like it's energy.
The place to put your energy.
Yeah, I mean, I think people should have a mourning period, but 6 months of mourning is too much, in my opinion. But everyone has their own timeline, but that could be also mean that they don't have tools for coping.
Yeah.
So like,
we're dancers.
Yeah,
of course,
so,
we're going to be like, yeah, be creative. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Use that energy to be creative. So
yeah, I agree.
Boomer, I believe you. All right.
He's an okay boomer.
Tips for a long-lasting relationship? Why, yes, indeed. Not only have I been with my husband for 14 years, but we haven't had a fight in 5. So first of all, understand how to not turn little things into big fights, which means you have to know how to manage your thoughts and your emotions and also your impulse. You know, that impulse to say the stuff that comes to your head without really thinking about it first? Yeah, I used to have that one too. So in order to do that, you must start meditating, because it's going to reduce your anxiety, stress, and fear. You know, those emotions that you kind of vomit on your partner whenever they get overwhelming? Deal with that shit, my love.
Shit.
My YouTube channel, find my Let's Meditate playlist, and start plugging in with headphones. I got great tracks on there that are gonna help your brain. Next, understand gender differences so you don't get pissed off at normal stuff. Be sure you read Fix That Shit so you know how to resolve conflict too. Boop.
Oh, nice little plug. Okay. With the Fix That Shit.
Trying to get me to buy your book.
Yeah.
I see you.
Dude, I agree. Try not to turn small shit into big things. There's I think a Stoic saying of like, does this thing need to be a big thing? Yeah, I agree with the meditating. Saphira on our podcast. Make sure you guys listen to that too. We talk about how meditating changed me. I meditated for a year, huge change in my life. I became a lot less reactive. I'm with that.
Is it okay to not fight with your partner? Maybe it's like an extremely unhealthy upbringing, but I just felt like as soon as she was like, we don't fight, I went,
Yeah, it is suspect.
yeah.
I went through a transition with a guy I was dating years ago who had a lot of anger, and so we would have these like blow-ups, and then he learned some of the yoga and meditation stuff, and towards the end of it actually got better. Like we stopped having fights. We started having like heated discussions.
Yeah.
Where he was able to like breathe and calm down, and then we would just wait for some period of time until we could like really talk about it. And I feel like that might be what she's talking about. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But they don't have as many like heated fights.
Yeah,
but
I agree, because for the rest of society, a lot of us aren't exactly emotionally intelligent. So being reactive and especially the things we see in the movies, we're going to be like, oh yeah, that's relationships, The Notebook, what do you want, and arguing and all this shit. I think that's not exactly...
Which is also unappealing.
Yeah, so it's like, it might seem awesome in the movies, but in real life, that is so stressful. And then sounds like they just have really, really, really good tools and a handful of tools to deal with the self before, with your partner, especially when we're being triggered.
I feel like I've seen that modeled like in my friends too. Like I've been able to like figure out what healthy disagreement and even healthy fighting looks like. I feel like fighting is okay as long as it's more of what you're saying, a heated discussion.
Yeah. Or even like just a debate.
You can reasonably call it that.
Yeah.
It's still a fight.
Yeah,
But it's like you're getting through it without like going for the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, what healthy love actually looks like. 1, it looks like being happy and fulfilled within yourself and supporting your partner in the same, rather than expecting the other person to be the one who makes you happy. 2, it looks like seeing the other person for who they are right now in the moment, rather than comparing them to who you want them to be or an idea you have in your head. 3, it looks like creating a safe space for both of you to heal and grow together, rather than trying to fix everything. 4, it looks like seeing conflict and triggers as an opportunity to learn about the other person and practice patience, curiosity, and empathy. And 5, it looks like speaking your needs freely and listening when the other person speaks their needs.
Yes.
Love is about being seen and heard and seeing and hearing the other person.
Oh, yes. Was that the last one?
Yeah. We like her. Huh?
I like her a lot. That was great.
Yeah.
The music was a little bit much, but
no.
They had to finish the video. They had to have some kind of ending to it.
Yeah, I'm 100% with that. Being seen and heard and seeing and hearing. Ooh, that gave me chills. Oh.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't actually listen to the other person. They're not actually listening to what's going on the other side.
People are hearing to rebuttal instead of actually, hearing to understand. I think that all this stuff is like stuff I learned from like anger management, couples therapy. I went through domestic violence classes. I went through child development classes. I was like, this is all required from me to go through the courts. I'm not sure, because I've talked about this openly with so many people, I don't know who knows anymore. But I went to jail, then I had to go through the whole court system and all that stuff. And yeah, like having to hear a lot of this stuff, and the tools are just like, yeah, I agree 100%. Especially like learning how to do I statements, active listening is like, it sounds not sexy at all, but it's like learning how to the whole active listening and the I statements or the game changers. Even now in this
Wait,
my current
I
relationship,
statements?
yeah,
What are those?
like I think you're an idiot, Sophia. I'm just kidding. No,
Wow.
like I statements like feels formulaic, but it once you get used to it, you can freestyle it. Like it's like I feel sad, or I feel I don't know. Yeah, I feel hurt. I felt hurt when you said those mean things about me in front of your friends. I would appreciate it if you don't make fun of me again. It's taking responsibility of the emotion and then sharing the request. And then the follow up, assuming the person knows the I statements as well, is like, I heard you say, you felt XYZ when I did XYZ, and you would appreciate it if I request. It's kind of like summarizing what they said, but also shows how well you understood them.
Yeah.
And then those two sentences right there, boom. And then those have helped me, and it's like it feels formulaic, like I said, but it's like I'd much rather 2 sentences than the 2-day argument or 2-day passive aggressiveness of like not talking to each other. So it's like when I've used that, it's like the anger and the emotion I feel just dissolves. Because like the thing I learned from anger is like anger is a secondary emotion. It's like under the anger it might be the sadness or the insecurity or loneliness that's being hidden. That's why like those simple I statements, or even with friends on the regular, like they had a rough day. It's like, oh, I can only imagine how hard that your work day was for you, but I'm here for you, or but I know you've got this. Those kind of things.
Yes,
So
that's so true.
yeah.
The I statements. I'm working on that. I got some anger too. I've been working on that myself, and I feel like I'm trying to reframe everything in terms of like it's us versus the problem versus like who has to take the burden of the problem.
Yeah. Like
right. So I feel like that I statement thing, like what you said about it, like melting your own anger. Like I feel like it allows once the anger has melted, then we can both see clearly and look at the problem together.
100%. And definitely one of the things, I'm just those of you guys watching this right now, is like, be careful of the hidden you statements. Like when people try their I statements, they go with the I feel you fucked up. I feel that you're stupid. That you might as well take out the I feel and just like you're stupid. So those are called hidden you statements. This is all the stuff like that I've just like taken to heart because I wanted to become like more emotionally intelligent and like be able to have these tools to deal with triggers. I'm not perfect at it, but it's like it's still it's so powerful. Like yeah, just watch out for that. Like especially if you guys are talking to your partner, like I feel, or even with your director or dancers, like, oh, I feel like you fucked up. Like this is but me at rehearsals is an exception because me.
I'm not gonna stand there and say I feel hurt that you guys didn't learn the choreo.
Yeah, I feel hurt you guys didn't rehearse on your own time. I'm like, no, you fucked up, you fuckers. But yeah, you guys,
Say it.
All right, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed today's first episode of Temper Tantrum Reacts. If you guys got anything you guys want us to react to, dance videos, music videos, more dating advice, anything you guys want us to react to, comment down below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, subscribe, share this with friends who you think might benefit from it or might find it entertaining, more rather. And yeah, make sure you give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook. All the links are in the description down below. With that, we appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Peace.